What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Kai, and today I just want to talk to you guys a little bit. So, it's the start of the new year, and I just wanted to go over my goals for this year because, I feel like this is going to be a good year, not just for me, but for, everyone. So, for this year on YouTube, I just want to really put my head down and, get at it, I don't know. I talked about it a little bit before, but this is, something that I'm pretty passionate about. So, I really hope it goes a long way, and, I know it will because this is the year. You guys got my back. But I've been kind of trying stuff out, uploading what I like to do on YouTube. But if there's anything in specific that you guys want to see, there's a content gap or something that you guys just want to watch, feel free to let me know down in the comments because I'm open to all reception. I want to get into, other parts of YouTube and just explore and see, what really sticks for my channel and for our community, you know what I mean? So today I just got a video here by the Jaegerist? Yeah, the Jaegerist. It's 6 mind-blowing One Piece theories explained. So, it should be interesting. Let's get into it. I know I've heard a lot of the theories about, I say a lot, huh? And I want you guys to understand how hard it is for me to make those videos where I'm just commentating. It's not like it's extremely difficult, but I have a natural speech impediment. So I stutter. It's not because I'm nervous or anything, because I enjoy talking to people. It's just the fact that I choke up over my words so much, and if I left all those in without cutting it, I would sound crazy. And don't mind my bonnet. Don't look crazy, right? Get the little curls going. But regardless, let's get into the video. Cool.
I spent the last 2 months rereading and analyzing every One Piece chapter and found 6
Before we get started, let me just like the video. Of course, gotta show my support. Appreciate you, Jaegers.
theories that will absolutely blow your mind. For example, there is this one theory about Blackbeard's laugh that left me completely stunned. You probably noticed that One Piece
those theories
is
about
full
Blackbeard's
of
teeth
weird
are crazy.
But did you ever notice that some of the characters' laughs correspond with the devil fruit they ate? Take Whitebeard's,
no way.
Corona's, or Strussen's laughs, for example. They all laugh with the first letters of their fruit. Now, with that said, did you ever, for example,
Yo, this fruit look crazy.
laugh with the first letters of their fruit. Now, with that said, did you ever notice how Teach laughs? Teach's laugh is which may seem unimportant initially, but if this theory is right, it may be a key to one of the biggest One Piece mysteries. There is a mythical creature called Baizi, also known as Hakutaku in Japan. Now, if you take those names' first and last words, you get Teach's laugh. So, it is possible that Teach already ate his third devil.
What?
So it is possible that Teach already ate his third
hold on.
Taku in Japan. Now, if you take those names first and last.
Yo, wait, this guy. Yo, I love this guy's videos. I love the Jaeger's videos, but this is reaching.
Words, you get Teach's laugh.
The jar is on the top shelf.
Teach already ate his third devil fruit? You probably think this is just a stupid coincidence, but bear with me, it gets crazy from here. Baize is a mythical creature usually portrayed as a tiger, sheep, or lion with 3 heads or 3 eyes on its side. The interesting thing about this is that Teach's flag also has 3 heads, and the number 3 is very emphasized in Teach's appearance. Also, his personality usually varies throughout the show, as sometimes he acts like a coward, sometimes he is cautious, and sometimes overconfident. This would also align perfectly with the animals Baizi is representing. Sheep for his cowardice, lion for his overconfidence, and tiger for his calm and cautious person.
The theory I heard on Blackbeard is that he has different personalities. See what I mean by the stutter? But he has different personalities. There's different souls within his body, and that's why there's different panels of him missing different teeth. Like in this one right here, right? It's missing what, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one he's missing 1, 2, 3, and then I'm pretty sure in this one he's missing a different amount of teeth. That's why he's always missing different amount of teeth, because Oda doesn't forget anything, so he wouldn't mess up on the amount of teeth that Blackbeard has, especially because he's a predominant character.
Personality. What's more, did you ever take a good look at Shank's scar? How did Teach even give it to him? Many fans speculate that Teach used his claw weapon to do this, but I don't think that's true. If you look at Teach's weapon, you'll notice that it has 4 blades, while Shank's scar only has 3 lines. Based on this, it's likely that Blackbeard transformed into his Baizi form and surprised Shanks, which allowed him to scar him with his claws. Also, Baizi literally translates to White Marsh, which could hint towards Whitebeard and Marshall.
I don't know if he's gonna get any spoilers in this video, but the whole spoiler warning, the whole thing with Luffy in Gear 5 I think that Blackbeard's gonna have the opposite of it. So like Luffy is the sun god Nika. I think Blackbeard's gonna be like, I don't know, like the devil something or the moon god, blah blah blah. He's gonna be the opposite of whatever Luffy is, because the Gomu and what is it called, the Yami, Blackbeard's fruit? They're like the opposites, like one of the two like super legendary fruits or whatever the case is.
Give this theory 4 out of 10 chances of happening, but in the later parts of the video, I'll be revealing some theories that have a 9 out of 10 probability of happening.
9 out of 10?
Now that you understand how crazy this video is going to be, let me tell you this insane
That first one was kind of high on the reaching meter.
The One Piece world that might just turn out to be true. Did it ever seem odd that One Piece world is nothing but islands? Did it ever seem strange that there are a lot of structures built underwater, from sunken cities and underground prisons to underground islands and giant
Void
gates?
Century.
There is even this big subscribe button at the bottom of the
Shameless
sea that's
plug.
just waiting to be clicked. Anyway, it's almost like an entirely different world existed and was flooded.
Man, I
at
wish
some
I could
point,
edit like
right?
that.
Well, that is exactly where this next theory comes in. In chapter 908, one of the Gorosei said, "The balance of the world can't be maintained forever. It seems like there is a need for a great cleansing." So what exactly did he mean by this? And could it be connected
Sounds like
to the
Hitler.
underwater structures we mentioned earlier? Well, firstly, it's important to mention that Oda takes a lot of references from real-world religions, especially Christianity. This can be observed on multiple occasions, like Kuma carrying a Bible, Mihawk wearing a necklace with a cross, devil fruits, angels living in the sky, you get the point. So what if this great cleansing is also inspired by Christianity and refers to the story of Noah's Ark, where
that makes
God
a little more
flooded the
sense
earth?
than what I
After
said.
researching this theory for quite some time, I found some evidence to prove this. As you already know, Emu and the celestial dragons live on the top of the red line in the city of Marisha. Now, it's really interesting that they chose that specific location, especially because it's the highest point in the One Piece world and would make them completely safe from the flood. It's also an interesting parallel that celestial dragons are referred to as gods, which makes it even more fitting that they flood the One Piece world, the same as the god did in Noah's story. This theory would also explain why there are only islands in this world.
Oh,
You
that's
see,
kinda
if the
crazy,
world was
low-key.
really flooded, that would make only the highest points above the sea visible, while everything else would sink. This phenomenon was perfectly explained during the Long Ring Long Land arc, where the path connecting small islands wasn't visible because it was underwater. But how would the Gorosei even do something like this? Well, I think that's where Emu comes in. I don't know how many of you noticed, but Emu's name in reverse spells the word umi, and the word umi means sea in Japanese. It's too early to say, but Emu could have some kind of power to control the sea to some extent or raise sea levels. Anyway, we'll need to wait a bit more till Oda reveals what exactly it is.
So, again, spoiler warning, the latest chapter of One Piece, skip ahead like 20 seconds if you don't want to hear it, but the latest chapter, the last couple chapters of One Piece, we saw a little bit of Eam's powers. Crazy. Homeboy deletes islands, like, actually.
As for now, I'll
So,
give
I
this
don't-
one a score of
I don't
5
know.
out of 10.
That's a crazy theory, though.
Bounties, the completely made up numbers that government gives to pirates. Wait a second, are they really random? Well, what if I tell you that these bounties are actually carefully crafted and have a meaning behind them? And that we can use this information to determine what Luffy's final bounty will be at the end of the show. Okay, so if you take a closer look at some of the last numbers of each bounty, you'll notice that they actually have a meaning in Japanese. Okay, you maybe won't notice that since you are probably not from Japan, so let me explain. Whitebeard's last numbers are 4 and 6, and if we take the first syllable of those numbers, which are shi and ro, you'll get the word shiro, which literally means white in Japanese. If we do the same with Kaido's last number, which is 110, we'll get the word hyakyuju, which translates to beast or 100 beasts. For Big Mom, the word is haha, which translates to mother. And you may wonder, how does this help us determine Luffy's final bounty? You see, there is one combination of numbers that would fit perfectly for Luffy, and those numbers are 5656, which would make his final bounty 5,656,000,000 bellies. Why is this number so perfect for Luffy? Firstly, it would put him right above the previous pirate king, Gold D. Roger, which all of us are expecting to eventually happen in the series. Secondly, numbers 5656 literally spell the words Gomu Gomu, which is the name of Luffy's devil fruit. Seriously, you can't find a more fitting bounty than this. It deserves at least a 5 out of 10 score. And if you
Had
thought this
me
one was
questioning
crazy,
it in
we'll
the
start covering
first
the top
half.
3 theories on this list, and these ones will quite literally.
I don't know, the theories where it's like, if you dissect this part of the word and then it actually says this, it means this and this, kinda region.
really blow you away. Did you ever notice that the song Bink Sake, the one that Brooke loves to sing, actually has some really interesting connections to Laugh Tale and might tell us exactly where it is? You probably think I am crazy for using a song to locate the final island, but when you think about it, it actually makes a lot of sense. Before we get into how exactly Luffy and the crew will get to the Laugh Tale, let's first explain why the information so major
Yo, Brooks is so
in
cold,
the ordinary
Luffy.
pirate song. Well, it's important to remember that Joy Boy lived during the Void Century, and we all know how everything about that period of time was erased from the history. So wouldn't it be genius if Joy Boy had concealed these important instructions into a cheerful song in an attempt to securely pass it on? Yes, it would, and I think that's exactly what he did. All right, but what about this song is so important? Well, let's take a closer look at some of the song's lines and try deciphering them. Firstly, it's emphasized multiple times throughout the song that the crew is delivering Bink's sake. So what is it? It must be important. Well, in the show, sake is usually something that connects people's stories and brings
pirates,
them closer
right?
together.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can
They all
observe this
share
when
sake.
Sabo, Ace, and Luffy become brothers when they drank sake. So could the sake in the song refer to connecting the entire world's story and delivering the
guess not
knowledge
just
of
pirates,
all
right?
poneglyphs?
But, you know
I
what I
think
mean.
so. And this is further confirmed by Roger when he left the message near the Sky Island's poneglyph, saying that he will guide that text to the ends of the earth. Since the Laugh Tale is the final island at the end of the sea, this fits perfectly. In the next few lines, some kind of storm is described that will try to stop the crew from coming near the island, and they'll have to beat upon the drums and hold on until the morning sun rises. With the recent manga chapters, this is also really fitting as Luffy's heart and gear fifth beats in the rhythm of the drums of liberation. In my opinion, he'll probably need to transform into this form and fend off some kind of threat that will try to stop him. Maybe a real storm, or possibly a villain like Blackbeard. The song finishes with the line, "Never ending, ever wandering, our funny traveling tale." And what's interesting about this is that the phrase,
Yo,
"our funny traveling tale,"
that's kinda
is spelled
crazy.
exactly the same in Japanese as the Laugh Tale,
Laugh Tale.
which just further proves that there is a real connection between the song and the island. I'll easily give this one 6 out of 10, but this next one about Okiji and Blackbeard is so good that it actually has an 8 out of 10 probability of happening.
Alright.
Although he was a Marine,
Let's
Kuzan
see,
was
let's
the
see.
only
I
one
don't
among the
believe it.
admirals who followed his own sense of justice, and therefore, we can all agree that joining Blackbeard Pirates is going against everything he stands for. There must be a reason for it, right? Yes,
course.
I believe Kuzan is actually a spy sent to keep an eye on Blackbeard by the Revolutionary Army, and there are a few things that confirm this. In episode 625, after Aokiji saves Smoker, he tells him that there are certain things he can do now since he is not a part of the Marines anymore, and that the grass is always greener on the other side. This could imply that he joined some other organization. Furthermore,
Yeah, the
during
black
Reverie
dude
arc,
doing
it was
what's
revealed that the
right.
revolutionaries
Yes, sirski.
escaped Baltigo just in time before Blackbeard arrived and destroyed the island. Since Aokiji is a crew member now, he probably knew that Blackbeard was going to attack and could have tipped off Dragon about his plans. If you still don't believe this, there is one more thing that may persuade you. For unknown reasons, Blackbeard's 10 captains are called Titanic Commanders. This seems pretty irrelevant until you realize that the thing that sank the actual real-world Titanic was an iceberg. And since Aokiji is literally an Iceman, this perfectly symbolizes that he may betray them in the future. 8 out of 10 is a fair score for this theory, but let's dial
yeah,
the crazy up to the max.
I can buy that one. I can see that happening. Aokiji being a spy for the revolutionaries. That sounds kind of valid. It all makes sense because he always wanted to seek his own like kind of sense of justice. So like it makes sense because I mean the Marines are evil. Like they really just are. They're corrupted. They're owned by the world government. Blah blah blah. And the revolutionaries are fighting for what's right. So I can see Aokiji switching sides, hopping ship. Yeah.
And cover the wildest theory on the list with a score of 9 out of 10 that
All right,
states
9
that
out of
Rayleigh
10.
is Mihawk's father. Okay, that's a pretty weird statement, but there is
Huh?
actually
Yeah,
a lot
exactly.
of evidence
What?
why this may be true. Firstly, let's start with the similarities between the two. Both of them use a sword in battle. Mihawk is the strongest swordsman now, while Rayleigh was most likely the strongest swordsman in his time. Oda has
Okay.
also hinted at the connection between the two in how they dress. If you look closely, you'll notice that Mihawk and younger Rayleigh have a really similar pattern on their clothing. Now, we can
Okay.
easily pass all of these as coincidences, but let me tell you one more thing first. I also believe Shakuyaku is Mihawk's mother. Think about it. If Rayleigh ever had a child, it would most likely be with her, but that's not the only reason. If you put Shaki and
kinda
Mihawk next to
bad,
each other,
low
they have
key.
some visible similarities. The most obvious one being their spiky hair. And lastly, Mihawk was seen wearing a shirt with peonies during Roger's execution. Why does this matter? Well, if you translate Shaki's full name from Japanese to English, you'll get, wait for it, favorite, peonies. I think this one just has to be true, and it would be really cool to see Rayleigh and Mihawk fighting together at some point. If you like these theories and want to hear more, you can click on this video.
This is actually a really good video. Some of the theories are a little bit out there. I'd say he's kind of reaching for some of them, but some of them are like that last one was pretty good, low key. I think my favorite theory, at least this is my theory, is that when it's all said and done and One Piece is coming to an end, I think what's his name? Kobe's gonna be the last Marine that Luffy's gonna have to fight on its way to the One Piece. I think he's gonna be like a super admiral. Kobe's gonna be super strong. It's not gonna be like one for like hate, like out of hatred, but it's gonna be like a friendly battle because like they finally both made it to where they wanted to be. You know what I mean? And Blackbeard's obviously gonna be the final antagonist, and I think Luffy's gonna die. I think Luffy's gonna be the same thing that Goldie Roger was, and he's gonna usher in the next era of pirates. Now I could just be fucking batshit wrong, but I mean, shit. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a comment, like, subscribe. Don't forget, I appreciate all of you guys. And let's just hope for a great 2023. And let's make it happen. So I'll catch you guys next.